Good morning, good day. Welcome back for some more Elden Ring. This is the Elden Ring 100% guide, made easy for everybody. Part 2. We're going to be watching cutscenes, talking to NPCs, reading some item dialogues, etc., descriptions. Let's have at it. Undo. Alright, so last stream, seems like we were on our way to talk to some NPCs, but before we do that, let's make sure we go back down and talk to other NPCs. So last episode we did this little dungeon, and at the end of this dungeon we were able to require this. A large sewing needle curved like a fang, Bach the demi-human's prized possession.
Oh, what are you doing here? You must leave this place at once. They'll rush in and beat you to a pulp. You'll end up just like me. Wait. Is that what I think it is? You got it back for me. My sewing needle. What made you go and do a thing like that? My mum was a seamstress, and that sewing kit was all I had to remember her by. I always wanted to be just like sweet old Mum. Then I suppose I can't just curl up and die, can I? Thank you. You're very kind. I always wanted to be a seamster like my mum. Then I suppose I can't just curl up and die, can I?
There you have it. That is Bach's little quest for the time being. Okay, so yesterday we took out the Drogon, talked to Yira. It's going to be something we're going to want to do in this little river here, but before we do so, we talked to Blythe yesterday at the ruins, and he told us he's looking for Darrowell. Well, let's go have a peek, shall we? So this Evergall here, Forlorn Hound. Now, you see this golden sign. This only pops up if you went and talked to Blythe with the finger snap in Mistwood Ruins, and then give him a little chat. Let's say he shall appear here.
Darrowell, rotting in a cell is no true justice. No. This is where it ends for you.
There you go. That's how you simplify that. Get to see Blythe in action, and you get ourselves a Bloodhound's Fang. Really good weapon. Both strength and dex required. Curb sword. Curved greatsword, that is. Dex scaling and blood loss. 11.5 required weight, but very good weapon. Very, very good weapon.
Right. There you are. Had to work for it, but it's done. Don't say I'm not a man of my word. Here's your prize. Oh yes. I should say, if you venture north to Raya Lucaria and come across a venerable blacksmith who's a little on the large side, tell him I sent you, and he'll be sure to treat you right. I owe you one, I reckon. That's enough chit-chat for now. It's time we parted ways.
Alright. Good fight, Blythe. Alright, there's a couple things we're going to want to do here. First things first. Okay, did grab that last episode. So the mage scroll that we grabbed just up there is going to be useful for something coming up right ahead. This grace point here, especially, is a very important one. Waypoint Ruins Cellar, just east of the lake. Now, with that boss in particular, you're just going to be careful its head, obviously. If you're using magic, arrows, whatever the case may be. Try to free aim it instead of lock it on. It'll be a lot easier for you.
Tarnished, are we? No wonder you should turn up here. I am Selen, a sorcerer, quite plainly. Why are you here?
I want to learn sorcery.
A yen for glintstone sorceries. I dare say your proclivities are far from ideal. Oh well, perhaps nurture will defy nature, with a bit of luck. But one must choose one's masters wisely. I was exiled from the Academy of Raya Lucaria as a reviled, apostate witch. Do you still wish to learn from me?
I still want to learn.
Well, you are a piece of work. Very well. You are now my protege in glintstone sorcery. But I refuse to coddle, or cast kind words. Never. Anticipate grievances, young apprentice.
So go ahead and give you your scroll.
Is that a scroll? Takes me back to my academy days. Very well. This is sorcery with which I'm not entirely unfamiliar. I'll be sure to incorporate it into one of your lessons. Never lose that inquisitive spirit, my apprentice.
Alright, so up to you what you want to grab right now, if any. The only thing that we want is, let me see. Yeah, we'll just get Pebble for now. Just in case. Thank you, Sally. Now, what we're going to want to do, you got options here. You can go and finish off Kenneth's stuff now and take back his fort for him. Or wait until later, until we're a little bit beefed up. What we're going to do is we're going to do a little quest line that happens in this little river right here. And then we're going to move up here, talk to a couple more NPCs, etc., etc. And then we shall head into the next bit. Probably do Castle Morn. So here we go. Here we go. Now you don't have to do the Yura's like that dragon bit. You don't even have to kill the dragon for this entire next bit to play out. But it does add to that little bit of lore, so if that's your thing. So you notice it knocks you off your horse here automatically, which usually means you're getting invaded. What you're going to want to do for this invasion is just straight up run right past this guy. Preferably a lot better than that.
If it isn't Nereus.
Oh.
Bloody finger. The end is nigh. For you. And your cessblood.
We went too far.
Ah, we meet again. To have fought Nereus and escaped. Fortune must smile upon you indeed. I am Yura, as you might recall. Hunter of bloody fingers, tarnished, held in thrall by cessblood. Zealots, who stalk their own. You stay the path. You're certain to face more of them. Just remember, no kinship with their ilk remains. Their madness precludes it. Don't let your emotions stay your blade. Be on your way. Perhaps we will meet again. If fate permits.
Perhaps. So, for that invasion, you pretty much just want to keep running until you get there. Talk to Yura if you want a little bit of lore. If not, then just go ahead and try to get that fight done. This is what I like to do. Just come back in here, have a little sit down. Come back out. I don't think you have to do any damage. You can just literally sit here and run in circles if you want.
If it isn't Nereus, bloody finger, the end is die. For you. And your cessblood.
Take advantage of Yura here. Nice, Yura. There you go. Got yourself a Reduvia. Very nice blood dagger. Jagged dagger with distinctive curved blade, used by the noble servants of the Lord of Blood. This dagger rips the flesh as it enters, infecting blood loss with sickening and efficacy. A proud testament to the success of its vicious design. This weapon is perpetually coated in blood. You see the skill there, Reduvia Blood Blade. Lets you slash with blood. Pretty cool. Little range attack. So yeah, that's Yura's bit. Then we can come inside here.
Me? I'm searching for my purpose, given to me by my mother inside the Erd Tree, long ago, for the reason that I yet live, burned and bodiless. There is something for which I must apologize. I've acted the Finger Maiden, yet can offer no guidance. I am no maiden. My purpose was long ago lost.
Your mother inside the Erd Tree. Just remember that. So yeah, this particular dungeon houses a little something special for fans of the series. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. Mainly Demon Souls and Dark Souls, of course. You shall see. If you know, you shall see. Watch out for these little traps in the grass.
Well, well, well. Thought you'd just help yourself to a man's personal belongings, huh? You scheming little thief. The gods demand repentance. Cough up your coin. All of it.
That's Patches. Jump attacks definitely work the best on him. Shield counters, parries. Well, yeah, probably parries work the best, to be fair.
Wait, please. I surrender. White flag and all. Well, finally come round, have you? I knew you would. You're a man of reason. Through and through. Ah. Well, what do you know? You're tarnished, like me. Now, how did I get that wrong? I took you for a demi-human or some such. Well, an innocent mistake, I assure you. Well, water under the bridge. Now we're squared up. How about we play nice from now on? A true man of reason. Just what I like about you.
I'm Patches. Patches the Untethered. Tarnished like you, only free-spirited. Nomadic, you might say. Only for now, those retired soldiers turned bandits. They're paying for my gruel. In exchange for my, well, showing them the ropes. But honestly, this looting racket is bloody terrifying. Frankly, I'm ready to wash my hands clean. Maybe set up a legitimate shop. So don't be a stranger. I'll be ready to wheel and deal come next time.
Gablan wheel, Gablan deal.
Don't forget to put. I'll be ready to.
So yeah, what you just do here, you can quit out, come back in, or teleport to the front, come back in, either way. Now just be careful of these enemies and the traps again.
Well, nice of you to drop in finally. It's all a bit ad hoc, but I'm sure you'll find something. And welcome to Patches Emporium, where you won't need a refund, because everything's top-notch. Yeah, I had those bandits make a clean break. Now they're all suppliers, and good ones at that. I mean, they don't understand a word I'm saying, but it hardly matters. We have a natural connection. They're all foot soldiers, survivors of a defeated army, worked to the bone by their high and mighty lord, only to be thrown out with the rubbish. It's the same old story everywhere I go. To hell with it all. Wondering what's inside the treasure chest. Well, it's nothing too special. Just something I'm saving as thanks for a very valuable customer. But then again, it would fetch some spectacular coin. And besides, this valuable customer could be a long time coming. Huh? Everything is give and take. Give and take.
Now, what we're going to want, especially, is this 5,000 runes, Margit's Shackle. A fetish bathed in golden magic. Shackles were used to bind the accursed people called the Omen. And these ones were made to keep a particular omen under strictest confinement. Though faint, the shackles still retained vestiges of power, enough to trap the once-bound Margit on Earth, if only for a short time. So go ahead and purchase that. You'll see he's got a cookbook, the parrying dagger, very, very useful. Some invasion fingers, some co-op remedies. This is like the gold serpent ring. Increases your item discovery. Or silver serpent ring, sorry. Increases your rune discovery. I always get it mixed now because they switched it. Gold, silver in this, and silver is gold. Long story short. Since we have the runes, we might as well buy this book. I don't see why not. Or these, actually. Probably a little bit better. As for selling, I always get rid of the greases and the cures. Not really too necessary.
Cheers for that.
Cheers, mate. Alright. Now, what we're going to want to do is go south, but before we do so, there's some things we can do. First things first, though. Let's go and talk to some folks. We're going to want to go to a little house right here. And then just by this little lake, river, dried up little pond, whatever you want to call it, right there. You just gotta follow this little road into the bushes there, into the trees, and there'll be a little shack. But before we do that, you see this little field of giants, and this little statue in particular. There we go. Five smithing stone 1 and 1 smithing stone 2. Pretty useful for early game. Jeez. I did not expect him to hit us. That was a good shot. This right here.
Not seen you before. Name's Bernal. Tarnished, just like you. Let me ask you something. Are you here in the lands between to take up the fight? Does your faith in the guidance of grace hold firm, despite the collapse of the Golden Order? Yes, you're a Tarnished through and through. Takes me back. But that's a quality needed now more than ever. Any interest in bearing the torch of my battle arts? All I know is the sword. Picked up a fair few tricks in my time, too. Now's the time to pass them on. To a good and proper Tarnished like you.
Alright. So now, if you have the rune sword, if you want, go ahead and save up for any of these. Parry's really useful, of course. No skill is good to put on, like, it's good to put on, like, shields that have, or like, staffs or anything in your left hand or right hands, pretty much your left hand, long story short, that you don't want the skill to activate on. You want your main weapon's skill to activate instead. So you'd put no skill on the left weapon. Just to make sure that always happens, of course. Warcry is very useful. Heavy affinity. Endure. Yeah, quick step, very useful as well. Stormblade, a little bit of range. Get your kick.
There's a myriad of battle arts in these lands that I've yet to discover. Mementos of all the warriors who raised their arms in battle, lost and died. A fine tale, all told of true chivalric romance. That's how I fell in love with the sword and the arts of combat. It grants meaning even to falling in battle, to death itself. Not floating your boat, eh? Well, there's no rush. Knowledge of the arts can wait another day.
Yeah, we don't even have enough runes to get that anyway. Next time, Bernal, next time. Let's keep heading east. See that little serpentine looking statue. We'll get to that.
Hello? Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck. Hello? Hello? Anyone? Oh, my stars. I'm so happy to see you. I am Alexander, also known as the Iron Fist. And as you can see, I'm stuck here. Please, can you help me out of this? My thanks. 1,000 thanks. Just give me a good smack from the rear with something nice and big. And I'll pop clean out, I'm sure. Don't dally. There's no need to fret. I'm very well trained. Give it your all, I say.
As you say.
Well played, good sir. Well played. Though that mighty wallop of yours almost spelt the end of me. Well, I'm out now, and that's what counts. I thank you. And as a token of my appreciation, I'd like you to have this. Once again, the pleasure is mine. I am the warrior Jar known as Alexander. Iron Fist Alexander, in fact. I journey to the east, where I intend to further my education in the ways of war. And beyond these lands lie the scarlet, rot-blighted Caelid wilds. And upon their southern edge is Redmane Castle, in which a festival of combat is being held. I'd heard whispers of such festivities before. Doesn't the notion set your breast aflutter? I'm heading eastward to Redmane Castle, on the southern edge of the scarlet, rot-blighted Caelid wilds. I've heard there's to be a festival held there.
Alright, there we go. And notice that's red, means health, of course. Now, and notice that little statue. It's kind of hard to see from here. This little statue up there is pointing, if you activate it, it shows a little blue stream. That blue stream would just kind of be leading this way. It'll always lead you to a dungeon. Now, you don't have to get this, it's not needed for the platinum, but as we are going for 100% in a traditional sense, we must get. Get yourself the Lance Talisman. Increases attacks on horseback. Very handy.
Oh dear. Yeah, I terribly sorry. Are you here as a customer?
So this guy here is gonna have another book for us. The poison arrows, poison bolts, very, very handy. Information on some flame chariots. It's also very, very useful. Let's see what we got.
Oh, is there anything?
So that's our first note we've bought.
Oh, I'm afraid I've done.
To look at your notes, you go to your inventory, L1 or last tab. It should be at the top. Once you purchase them, you can read them. Notes sold by the nomadic merchant, party knowledge in brief. Beware the fire amongst chariots, bearing the face of giants. A well-aimed blow to the chimney on top may prove effective, but opportunities for a plunging attack will be rare indeed. 2 weaknesses.
There's no mistake, is there? Death has left its mark once again. Ah, a tarnished, are you? I'm known as D. I hunt down those who live in death and weed their death root. Heed my warning. The village here has been touched by death.
So anytime there's an enemy that respawns, either holy damage, true holy damage, or you have to double tap it like that to kill it off.
Ah, a tarnished eye. I'm known as D. Heed my warning. The village here has been touched by death. And worse yet, it is home to a mariner. If you value your life, then go no further. The village here has been touched by death.
Well, you heard him. Easy peasy guide indeed, Doom. Indeed. How you doing? Glad you're here. Not doing too bad, not doing too bad. Appreciate that. Wolfkeen's getting in my way. There we go. Get yourself your first death root and some more ashes. These ashes are actually really nice for early game because, as you've seen from these skeletal enemies that we've been attacking, they revive, and you get 2 of them, so it's kind of cool. Yes, the enemy can make sure they get to hit them again when they're down to make sure they die for good, but sometimes they just don't even aggro to them, or just forget to attack them, or just miss entirely. So they get to revive and help you out once more.
Another fool who won't listen to reason, eh? But with a prowess for weeding Deathroot. How would you like to earn the strength of beasts? If you're inclined to hunt more of those who live in death and weed their Deathroot, then I'll introduce you to Garank, the beast clergyman. I have a matter of my own to attend to, and the beast himself wishes for someone to take my place. What say you? Very well. Show me your map. I've marked the location for you, of a hidden gateway. It will lead you to Garank, the beast clergyman.
Mark was made on the map. There it is right there. Last episode we went and looked at that portal. We explained it a little bit, but that's how you learn about it the earliest, without finding it yourself, of course. Pretty cool. And then you get some little extra lore on D here. If anyone's played Demon Souls, you can kind of see the super obvious connection. Soul Brant and Demon Brant, etc., etc. Just leave it at that for now.
I have a matter. I spotted the mark of the centipede here in the village. An ill-omened symbol that should not be. Someone or something threatens the sanctity of the Golden Order and must be eradicated.
You'll see this tree that he's actually standing at itself. These death roots that we've been getting, or will be getting for these bosses, per se. A source that gives rise to those who live in death. The beast clergyman found at the bestial sanctum in the distant east collects and devours these roots. On the night of the dire plot, the stolen rune of death enabled the first death of a demigod. Later, the rune of death spread across the lands between the underground roots of the great tree. Doesn't say Erd tree. The underground roots of the great tree. Great. That's going to be very important for later. Sprouting in the form of Deathroot. And you see this where we're standing by right here is literally Deathroot in another form. And you can actually kind of see these withered eyes and scales. See that eye right there? Eye right there. It's got like a little bit of fur, some scales, some roots coming out of it. That would be a Deathroot. We'll learn more about that later on as we go as well. Pretty cool. Now, very important, this church right here. Usually churches house a sacred tier to upgrade your flasks. This one does not. This one's a little bit of a trap. So what we're going to do, we're going to put a little marker there for enemy ahead. We're not going to want, you can fight the enemy. It's definitely doable at this stage. But we're going to veer away from it for the moment. And we'll come back to it. Welcome to Caelid. The Scarlet Blotted Wilds.
Forgive me. I've been testing you to determine if the Elden Ring would truly have you, if you had the mettle to endure this long and arduous path. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very start, whereas I merely pretended. There is but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Round Table Hold, gathering place of tarnished champions, guided by grace.
Meteor.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
Your voice alone there, Melina, has me very intrigued. Such a pretty girl. This would be a Round Table Hold, our hub of the game. Like the Nexus, Spiraling Shrine, etc., etc. Got ourselves some NPCs to talk to.
Oh, this is a rare occasion. I can't remember the last time a new Tarnished made their way to the Round Table. Very well. As your senior, I bid you welcome. It is safe here. You may let down your guard. Allow me a word of advice. As your senior, you are a mere visitor to the Round Table. Nothing more. A house guest. Yet to earn their keep. Remember your place, newcomer.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
There's nothing left to say. Be at your leisure.
Now you notice he was in the opening cutscene. They explain a little bit of him. Sir Gideon Ofnir, the All-Knowing. You'll notice he's got like some eyes on his chest piece here. Eye symbolism. His staff, his cane. It's a golden pickled fowl foot. Boosts the amount of runes obtained. There's kind of a little bit of symbolism there. And we'll find a staff later on that's almost similar as well. You'll notice the top bit of this, like a crystal ball that's kind of shattered just a little bit. Just a bit. Now, all I'm going to say is Dark Souls 3, Filianor. Kind of like a little reference in my head, that is. But thought I'd mention that for now. Anyway, next NPC.
Oh, I see you've just arrived. Welcome to the Round Table Hold. I'm Corin, a man of the cloth. I teach incantations, the strength granted us by the Two Fingers, and explore the secrets of the Golden Order, so that one day, if a Tarnished of the Round Table Hold should become Elden Lord, I might counsel them, ensuring order regains its proper form, righting rule over men. By the way, do you still see it? The guidance of grace. You do? Wonderful news. Most Tarnished are blind to it these days. You are something of a rare breed. Well, what do you say? Care to learn an incantation of the Two Fingers?
Alright, now what we're going to want, for stuff coming up, that is, I highly recommend, if any, out of these, either Flame Fortification, Magic Fortification, and Cure Poison, or at the very, very least, Cure Poison.
May the Golden Order shine through you.
And you, friend, and you. And this is where we meet Dee for the first time, if not out in the field.
Hello again. You haven't gone to see Garank yet, have you? Well, no rush. You do as you please. Just as long as he doesn't starve to death, eh? Hello. You must be new here. Well, just call me Dialos. The honor of one's house holds little import in these lands. By the way, have you met a young woman named Lanya on your travels? She's my servant, but fickle as the wind. Take your eyes off her for but a moment and she's good as gone. If you find her, please be sure to tell me. Be sure to tell me if you meet a young woman named Lanya. She's a servant to my house. She's been my companion since childhood. I've lost count of the number of times I've had to find her like this. Honestly, she's such a little tomboy.
You're a new face. No matter, it's all the same. Lay out your arms. Let's get smithing.
Like again, if you've played Demon Souls, Dark Souls, it's kind of the two that this kind of pulls from, that is. Demon Souls, this is going to be a little, not super spoilery, but just a couple character descriptions, that is. The blacksmiths in Demon Souls and Dark Souls. Demon Souls, they're a little bit scaly. They're humans, but they've got scale-like features. So does this guy. Dark Souls, Andre, of course, cursed with like some kind of old age or eternal life or something. I don't know. We're not sure. We never did find out, of course. But you can see he had a beard. And this one obviously has a beard. And then there was Dark Souls. There was like these other blacksmiths. He had the giant, of course. But there is a secret one, the skeletal blacksmith. It's kind of like the shape of him and almost like the voice, if that makes sense. It's kind of cool what they did.
I see you've noticed the chains. Nothing special. I'm a prisoner and these are my chains. I'm trapped by the hold. I'm dying, smithing for you fools. That's all there is to it. No, don't read too much into it. Well, no grudge against you. My being a prisoner is no fault of yours. Besides, I don't mind smithing. Despite my differences, the weapons get stronger all the same. Given time, technique never fails. Besides, it helps me forget the sheer terror of her.
I wonder who he's talking about, We will find out. Yeah, you see a certain great sword right there. Indeed, indeed. Berserk fans. Now, there's going to be a couple blacksmith opportunities throughout the game, and we already came across one anvil in Church of Ella. That anvil, rather, it only lets you go to +3. Here, of course, you can upgrade as far as you want. We're not going to upgrade just yet, because we're not using a weapon that we want to stick with. But, yes, that's how you do that. Without that weathered knife that we found in the first episode, to do our Ashes of War on our the grace points for ourselves, this is how you would originally do it. Cool paintings. One of my favorite characters.
Greetings, great champion called by grace. I am Fia. Circumstances have compelled my stay at the Round Table Hold. Great champion, would you allow me to hold you? But briefly, perhaps you might share with me some of your lively vigor and your stout-heartedness. Doing so will grant me the warmth of a champion. And you, I am sure, will bear a Baldakin's blessing. Do you think it vulgar, perhaps? Where I come from, it is a sacred act. Ah, my thanks, great champion. You are very warm. What you felt light up inside you was a Baldakin's blessing. Though it is but a fleeting thing, I am afraid. Come back to me, should you require another. I will take you in my arms as often as you need.
Yes, Mommy. I mean, yes, Fia. No worries. We will be back. Alright, so you'll notice at the top of the screen there, we got a little red square by our health bar pointing down. That means your HP is reduced. Favor bestowed by a deathbed companion. Protection of a hidden temple in the guise of a bedchamber. Protection of a hidden temple in the guise of a bedchamber. Uses FP to temporarily boost poise. This favor allows one to forget any aches and pains in death. There is only peace, for in death there could be no sensation. You can either save this until you're about to do a boss fight, if you want. If you don't mind the HP reduction, etc., which is what we're gonna do, or you can just use it now. You can always get another one by talking to her again. That's how you do that. This mirror right here lets you change your cosmetics, your name, your appearance, for free. Now, you can jump down there. There's an item down there, which we will grab eventually. But, as you can see, there's a lot of blood stains. A little something happens. That's all I'm going to say. We're not going to do it just yet. Not just yet. Get yourself a little emote. Sadly, there's no trophy or achievement this time around for getting all the emotes, but that might be a good thing. It was a little bit annoying in Dark Souls 2. This is gonna be like our little merchant. Memory stones, as we found one last episode, and that's how we get our memory slots. These two here, they're items like that shackle that you can use. When invaded, require the aid of a hunter. And then if you want to be the hunter and help people that get invaded, you just pop that. Here's the dagger, which we are going to grab since it has quick step. Got yourself some weapons, etc., etc. Now you don't need to get this finger seal if you're going to see Garank, but just in case, we'll grab it. Up a heater shield, medium-sized shield, 49 guard boost, 100 physical, 3.5 weight, only 10 strength. Good little shield if you're in need. Got the mace. Why not? Heavy load. So what we can do is take our helmet off for now. That should be everyone that you can talk to at the moment. Everything that you can do here. Go ahead and sit at the round table if you need to. Always check your flasks. Redistribute if you want. Get your spells. Physics. Sort your chest if you want to put stuff away so it's not like in your way, in your inventory per se. And we're off. So, now we've got all that out of the way, NPC-wise. Let's do a little recap, of course. We did Yura and the Dragon. We did Yura and Neuralis, whatever his name is. Little blood invader. We did Bach. We did Blythe. Unlocked Selin. We talked to the Heartbroken Maiden. Talked to Burnout. Talked to Alexander. Talked to D. Unlocked Garank. Talked to Rena. Talked to Calais. We talked to Vare. We talked to Irina. And now we've got some choices. So you see, remember last episode we mentioned that there's a teleporter down here in these ruins. This particular teleporter takes you to a place that we can't see at the moment, but inside Caelid, inside a dungeon, which is very useful to get to that side of the map, that area. It's a little bit of like a quick travel. Same with this. The gate to Garank. It will lead you to the very top right of the Caelid section of the map. It's useful for getting over there and, you know, doing a whole bunch of stuff early on, if you're wanting to do so, or if you're able to do so, etc. But for our particular case and our particular build, what we're going to do is finish off the south first, and then we're going to go ahead and go back to the ruins, take that certain teleport, do some things in the east, and then continue from there. It'll be a lot easier, it'll make you a lot more powerful without having to do much. You'll see. Let's get this journey started, shall we? So first things first, let's go. Let's go south. Yes. But first, if we want to, let me think. We can go this way to this church, get a sacred tear, head on down to another church to get another sacred tear before going to the boss fight at the castle, or we can just kind of wing it. There's another one here as well. I'm not sure if we grabbed it on this character last episode. I think we did. But just to double check, we'll have a peek later. This tower here as well has a teleport, and it's a very nasty one, so just be wary of that. And yeah, that should be it. I think we'll just go to the castle now, go get those tears after. We are still kind of weak, so unless you want to be hitting these enemies a couple times, it's highly recommended you just kind of do what you need to here at the moment. It gets a little bit wild if you don't end up killing them all. Jeez. Mr. Aggressive. Yeah, I didn't expect them that all to come in here. Just be careful here. Now, of course, you do have iframes when you're like picking up certain stuff, etc., etc. Dedicated mofos, indeed. I've never had them chase me that far inside, to be honest. I think it's because I took them down by the tree first. That's fine. See, we didn't really need the item. But for the purposes of showing you guys what it is, of course. Must grab it. That's okay. Wasn't a boss, so I'm not upset. It is what it is. Yeah, this time around we can just go straight through. Some of the easiest enemies in the game, but like the hollows of Dark Souls 1 and whatnot, can be the most annoying at times. Depending on how aggressive they are and what if they use that little flurry. So that is your claymore. Very good weapon. Just let them do their thing here. Get yourself a steel wire torch, does a little bit more damage. If you want to use the torch, that is, for a weapon. It's good against enemies that are affected by fire more so. Now there was actually two ways to get to this part that we just drop it down to now. The way we just did, or the ladder from down below behind the pumpkin man that we seen just a moment ago. So this ladder here, by that tree down there. Just come on up. It's a lot quicker and you can bypass all that nonsense. If you're not going for the items, of course. Whoa! Once again, Mr. Dedicado. We're gonna have to pull some moves here. That's your smithing stone 2. I think we can jump off of here and not get killed. but curious if we're gonna be fast enough. Oh yeah, we're good. As I almost die. Grab this smoldering butterfly while we're over here. Jump down this ladder, or go down the ladder. See another little battle going on. Just kind of let them do their thing.
There's a face I've not seen before. I'm Edgar, warden of this castle, as ordained by Lord Godric himself. But you can see how things have turned out. The menials have all rebelled. They gave me good service, or so I thought. But it seems it was all an act. Foul creatures, as it said, and true enough, they're foul inside and out. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but whatever you come here to do, I'm afraid Castle Morn won't hold much longer. Take this, by way of apology.
Deliver Irina's letter.
From Irina? Thank you. I'm in your debt, but I can't leave yet. Even if the castle should fall, as commander, I must remain to ensure the treasured sword of Morn does not fall into the wrong hands. If you see Irina, do tell her that her father will come for her once he's fulfilled his duty.
Alright. We'll hold you to that, sir. Now, you can jump across to that, but there's not really any purpose. It's much easier and better to jump down here. Get yourself a key in the process. They don't really get hurt all too much, but free to put on some fire grease. Marred. Just mushrooms growing around him. Very interesting. Sometimes you can get away with it, but I think we crouched way too late there. Bullshit. know he's got some range, but that was just something else. And get yourself a twin blade talisman. Little view at the outskirts. So what I like to do, just bait them into swinging a couple times, or at least once. Instead of going all the way down, drop down, makes it a lot easier. I should have waited for that third swing, but that's alright. The item there is a whip. We will grab in a moment. I hate rats in these games. Most annoying enemies. They always do too much damage for a rat. Anyway. Get you your whip. Now be very careful here. $15 fire arrows, definitely worth it. Especially if it's starting at the samurai class. So the somber stone. And then, if you did Irina's quest, up until you give Edgar the letter, go ahead and summon Edgar here. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Big mistake. That's why I told myself we should have been using the bigger weapon before we came here. That was just my bad. You could literally just sit behind your shield or let them do the entire thing for you. But we got cocky, and that's what you get. Told myself I wasn't gonna die in an easy boss fight, especially, but we tried to get too fancy. It's usually nice to have quick step there or something else, just so you can get fancy without having to worry about stamina all too much. Anyway, that's how you get that done. A heck of a lot easier. And we are rewarded with Grafted Blade Greatsword. 40 strength, 14 dex, C strength, and scaling. Anyone that's seen Game of Thrones will obviously spot the reference here. Storied Sword of Castle Morn, a revenger's weapon. It is burdened with the oceans of anger and regret. One of the legendary armaments. A lone surviving champion from a country now vanished, was so determined to continue fighting that he claimed the swords of an entire clan of warriors. Oath of Vengeance. Pretty good sword, pretty cool, but it is heavy. Takes a lot of strength. Apologies for that death there. Kind of a shame. Let's see. Grace is broken at the moment. Apparently it's over here. Alright, so what we're going to want to do now... Let's go back and talk to Edgar. And then we will have to talk to Irina after that. Definitely did not expect to be perishing twice this stream. You'd think this pumpkin guy would drop you something nice. As standard loot. But it's just a sanctuary stone, unfortunately. Now, I'm pretty sure you can farm the head off of him. I've never tried it yet, but I don't see why not. His helmet, that is. Bruh.
I'm in your debt for keeping the sword from those fallen creatures. I'm no longer bound by duty. Once I've rescued Irina, I will spend my remaining days with her. Thanks to you, and devote my Irina has a... I only hope it remains intact.
A gentle soul, you say? Oh, it's risky, man. Risky. It usually isn't either. You'd sit there and take your time, kill him again, make it look super safe. I think it's because I'm used to just running straight to the NPCs now and just spamming in the dialogue, not even listening to it, and then getting out of there. But just take it slow if you need to, one at a time, or crouch. Try to sneak. Let's go have a chat with Irina. And we'll go and get some sacred tears and stuff like that around the area, and then we will move on. Yes.
could this be? My daughter deserved better. The fault lies with me. I chose duty over my daughter's safety. And that is how fate has answered. I'll find them. The foul wretches responsible for this. I'll hunt them down and exterminate every last one of them. Rest assured, Arena, it will be done.
Rip. Rest easy, Irina. Rough. Let's check our incantations real quick. Okay. There's going to be 3 sacred tears that we're going to be going after at the moment. So if you ever see an enemy like these ones with their eyes that are yellow, it means they're inflicted with madness. Madness is nasty. It's like paralyzed, pretty much. If that gets full, you will get paralyzed for a few moments. Very, very punishable, and it does a hell of a lot of damage too, just like bleed or frost. Once the buildup is at maximum. So yeah, be very careful around these parts. Easier way to get back down the mountain. We don't have to. We could have used that that path since it leads to a bridge. But there's more grace points, etc. down here, and more dungeons that we're going to need to get to later. So it's just a little bit easier on us to get this out of the way now. It's going to be a total of 5 dungeons on this Weeping Peninsula. One is this way, behind those flowers, but we're not going to go there just yet. And there's another one close by here, just to the northeast, on the edge of the cliff. A walking mausoleum carries the soulless demigod, apparently a son of Marika herself. Remember that. Sacred Tear. It's actually a decent little shield out here in these little this little graveyard here. Gilded Iron Shield. Let's Some blood grease. Boosts holy damage negation. Pretty good. It's not like 100% physical or anything like that, but it's not what it's intended for, so. You'll notice a little something over there with the legs. We'll get to that. I was gonna say we probably take some damage from that, but nothing too crazy. That's divine fortification. Very useful. Now, what we're gonna want to do is very carefully lure these enemies out, either one by one or both at a time. Whatever you prefer. Let your wolves take care of business. Very good weapon here. The winged scythe. It's especially good if you're going for faith early on. Alright, so there's another Evergall here. This one takes keys to open. We'll be back for that when we do the general cleanup of the area. So you'll notice here, this is one of the churches, like I said, almost all the churches of America have conversations with Melina at the grace points, but this is one of them that doesn't. Just talking about that tower right there with that teleport, nasty teleport. We'll be back for these ruins, not just yet. There's something required for them.
Well, there's been an age since I've seen a customer. How can I help here at the end of the earth?
He's got a really nice item here, the lantern, which we will get eventually, but since we have a torch, it's not super necessary at the moment. What we want is these level 2 smithing stones. You can buy keys if you need to, if you want to. He's got the Mighty Zweihander. Favorite Dark Souls 1 weapon, most likely, for me. So, just a Dark Souls weapon in general, to be honest. So good. But Dark Souls 1, it's like broken. Here's a Lost Ash of War. It lets you duplicate the skills for weapons, etc. Ashes of Wars. A note on the walking mausoleum tells you how to take it down.
Have a safe journey.
Cheers. As for these mausoleums, you can wait till later to do this if you want, but if you want to do it now. Each mausoleum's a little bit different. What I mean by that is the location of these. On this one, it's on the bottom. Sometimes it's on the top bit, and you have to shoot it with arrows, jump up top, find a way. That's when you know you've hit enough off. Now there's going to be 2 different mausoleums as well. Look-wise. Well, 3 technically, but 2 mainly. The one with the bells, do something that the ones without the bells don't do. Long story short. But we'll get to that. Now we're not going to be able to do anything here now, but... that's how you open these. Inside. Got a soulless demigod. Without a head. Very interesting. But this is where you're allowed to duplicate remembrances. Remembrances are boss souls. So long story short, every boss soul will have 2 things that you can make with it. Either a weapon or an incantation or a sorcery or 2 weapons, etc. You can only make 1 at a time per soul. But if you want to get the other one, then you just come back to one of these. Use it, duplicate the soul, and then you're able to grab what you want. Now, like I said, only certain... The mausoleums with the bells are the ones that can duplicate any boss soul. The ones without the bells can only duplicate certain boss souls. Long story short. So that's what we want to do here for now. There is other stuff for us to do here, but we're not going to worry about it just yet. We will be coming back for stuff here. Once we clear out the entire area, let's go ahead and put our dungeons down. Paler's Catacombs. And this one right here. And this right there. So now that we've got the south complete, for now, what we're going to do is take a little secret teleport to the east. Next episode, we're going to be going through a little bit of a power boost, per se. Down here, if you're quick enough, get to this door. Of course, you don't have to do it like this. You don't have to rush in. Go as slow as you want. Because you can get attacked while you're doing that. You can die while you're doing that, so just be very careful. Go at it how you like. Now this teleport, it's the longest loading screen in the game, which is weird. But it's a very dangerous teleport. Sometimes you can't even get out of here without getting A little bit angry, at least. I'm stubborn and I like to go for weapon or items. So there's going to be a few things we're going to grab here before we get out. Let's give it a shot. A couple of smithing stone 5s. So just to look at the map, this is where it's teleported us. From that dragon ruin at the lake at the bottom left there, all the way up here inside this dungeon. You'll see we got another map stone up here too. Go ahead and mark that. Now, since we're a faith build, or if you're planning on doing a faith build, there's a certain item here that we can grab real quick, if we're lucky. Let's follow my path here. This is where it gets super risky depending on what you go to grab. Grabbing these is going to aggro that guy from up top, unfortunately. Yep. So the chest is open now, so we can just go in and grab that, which is good. You don't need to worry about your runes, your souls here, or anything like that. Of course, yeah, if you have, like, you know, 5,000 plus or whatever the case may be, it's always good to spend it before you do something crazy like this. But it's whatever you want to do, however you want to go at it. We're not going to really worry about runes or souls or anything like that this time around. They're super easy to come by. Don't be stressed. Go ahead and grab that sorcery rock blaster. It's not necessary for the platinum, but it is a good, very good sorcery, in my opinion. First things first, kick this ladder before you do anything, just in case you die once again while up here. If you really want, you can put on one of these twigs. Saves your runes. This is what we're here for. Faith Talisman. I always say try to make it out without using your twig if you can, especially early on, because those twigs will become much more useful later. Most likely, so try not to die if you can, but do what you gotta do, as always. That was actually super lucky, like holy crap. They barely shot at us or anything there. I'll take it. Raises incantations potency. Very useful. And we are out of the dungeon. Thank goodness. We're going to do one more thing before we end this episode here, and that is to light some towers. Super easy ways of doing this. I'll show you the easiest. Stop by the shack beyond the southern gate. A quest hint. Just ride straight through the middle of the town here if you want, or go back behind it. Whatever it fits your needs. We got ourselves a golden seed. And then from here, drop down onto this branch. Hop up on Torrent once again. Double jump your way up to this tower. Go ahead and mount back up. Jump your way across. You can grab that if you'd like, which we will, why not? But to get back up, might be a little bit finicky. Alright, so from here, what I like to do is jump across. Jump across. Now when we come back here for the boss battle, it's much easier to take that out with like a bow or magic or incantations. Those little, like you see in last episode, they teleport as soon as you get close to them. So it's much easier to just take them out with a bow or something like that when you're able to. We don't have such at the moment. But if we like come back here with like lightning spear or something like that, boom, aim, toss, dead. Simple as that. Just up another key. There you go. That is all 3 barriers. You'll notice that blue barrier just on the other side there. Disappear. Like so. You'll notice the little gold barriers that were around the town as well. Easiest way of doing this, I find. You can just rush it. Or take your time with it. But find it much easier to just let the wolves do it for you. Imbued stone key. Very, very handy. I'll talk of that key in just a moment here. Make sure you come around and get this painting. Okay. Make this easier on yourself, I'll just start from the beginning here so you kind of know where we're at. So that imbued stone key was on the right back side here. And then in the middle of the town, we've got the painting. And this was sealed. Go ahead and grab this. Night Comet. Nice sorcery. Go back here. This one was sealed as well. Spelldrake Talisman +1. Very handy. And then of course the door up here opened up as well. Get yourself a little grace point. Last thing we'll do, from the Golden Seed or from the middle of the town, you want to head straight out south. That doggo is very much not friendly, but if you don't get too close, then you should be fine.
Oh, a pleasure to see you. A pleasure indeed. I am Gary, a great sage. In my day, anyway. I'd hoped to ask a favor when one of your ilk came along. A strapping young tarnished, able to cross the scarlet swamp of Aeonia. Don't fret, I'll provide fine recompense. Should you accept, I will teach you the secret of Celia, the town you see there. Ah, then you are willing to lend a hand, are you? I need your help to heal a certain young girl. Her name is Millicent. You will find her beyond Celia, resting at the church atop the cliff, stricken by the rotting sickness. The rotting sickness that afflicts Millicent has no cure. When the Erd Tree flourished, even the demigods could not stave off its effects, despite their nigh godhood. But Millicent's suffering can be ameliorated. For this, you are to find a certain needle. Seek the deep, scarlet swamp of Aeonia outside Celia's bounds. The needle, made from unalloyed gold, is lost somewhere there. First, you must find the unalloyed gold needle. It's hidden somewhere in the deep, scarlet swamp of Aeonia. Then I will tell you, as promised, the secret of the town of Celia.
Oh, well. So, for his quest, he wants you to, long story short, go about right here. There's going to be a boss. Once you kill that boss, you'll get the item that he's requiring. And then you can continue that quest line from there. But at this stage with this character, it's going to be a heck of a lot harder to do so. So next episode, we're going to, like I said, power ourselves up quite a bit, easily and fast, and then we will take care of business. Take out a few bosses, etc., and go from there. Get these map stones out of the way, and then we'll work our way back to the castle for our first main boss of the game. Yes. Well, that'll be it for episode 2. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is the Elden Ring 100% Guide Made Easy Part 2. This is me, Andiriel. Out for now. I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you. Cheers.